Okay, so last time I was trying to look for an audio file that can play the clave, and I found some. I basically Googled clave sounds online, and there's this website called findsounds.com, and that actually has some WAV files. And so actually, I'm gonna play this for you all, just so you all can hear it out just a little bit. So there's this 0.1 second one here. So I'm just pressing it multiple times, but if I just play it once, it's basically the clave, which I think is exactly what we need. So I'm actually going to download this WAV file for now. There's also another one on this website that's a little bit longer, like 8.1 seconds. But it's basically the same clave sound. So I'm just going to see if I can just play this single clave file. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to open this and I'm going to drag it in to my directory structure. So yeah, let's move it to let's see, assets, I guess. Yeah, so I'm gonna do just drag in this download file here, clave. Let's name it clave. It's a little easier. And let's just see if it plays. So if I go back to my home view component, I think I still have this here. Yeah. Let's see, home view, app.view. Okay, app.view instead of horse. Let's see if it can find the clave file. Okay, I guess it hasn't. Let's inspect console. Okay, it's unable to load the resource. Okay, so let's see if we can do assets slash. Nope. Interesting. Okay, so let's actually figure out how I would. Okay, logo SVG is something that is loaded. I actually wanted to figure out how I would. Let's see. Okay, I guess I should not have gotten rid of the logo because the View app was referring to the logo. So I'm gonna actually do some more Googling now. So let's see. View app, how to include a file. Let's see. No, from assets, I guess. Folder. Let's take a look at how do I do this. Base URL. And its base URL. Interesting. Let's see, href equals. Public. Okay, so I think it needs to be in the public directory. So let's take a look at the public directory. Let's move this wave into public directory. And let's refresh. Okay, there we go. So now the file has loaded and you can play it. Okay, so that's how I am able to include a WAV file in my directory. I put it in public and then I'm able to refer to it. So that's kind of good. So next thing we're going to do is we're going to see if we can play this video on JavaScript. So now that we have access to the file, is there a way that we can write JavaScript to actually play a WAV file? So let's take a look at JavaScript play WAV file. How do I play audio? Okay, so you can use this one here. Okay, so I'm actually gonna just take a look at the an example of how I would do this. So instead of here, I would say clave.wave. And actually, I'm actually gonna just test it out first in JS land. So I'm gonna say here, okay, audio is able to be played. Now play. There we go. So I could just play it. And then now we can do more cool stuff with it. But let's just take a look at this here. So we've got some JavaScript here, but I actually think we're gonna do we're gonna actually have the proper syntax. And this is style, so this is not even the right one. It's in the script. So we've got this. Let's see, because the user didn't interact with the document first. Okay, that's okay. So I'm gonna say view setup script. Yep. There we go. So we're actually gonna, let's get rid of this entirely because I don't actually think this is that important. We're just gonna have salsa beats. And I think we're gonna do something like set timeout. So this is a way for us to wait some time before we call some code. So what we can do is we can set timeout, and then we can do, we can wait a minute, or wait 1,000 milliseconds, which is 1 second, before we call this audio script here. So, okay, let's see. DOM exception play failed because the user didn't interact with the document first. Okay, let's actually Google that error because I actually want to just autoplay this for real. Let's see. To make autoplay on HTML5 after the Chrome update, you need to add the muted property to the video element. JavaScript audio. Let's take a look at this. No, I don't want to play the video on desktop. I want to play audio. On page load. Let's take a look at this. I really don't want to autoplay. Okay, so let's actually take a look at this. Maybe 2 seconds, and then maybe the user interacts with it. There we go. So, okay, I guess the user has to interact with the page, which is fine. Let's actually do that. So we're gonna have 2 buttons, right? We're gonna have play, right? And then we're gonna have pause. Pause and play. Let's just do that. So we're gonna have a button that's just that. And when you click the button is where you call the function. So what we're gonna do instead of that, we're actually gonna do function play audio, right? And it's just gonna play Clave. Let's just keep it simple for now. And then we're gonna follow the syntax @click equals play Clave. So page loads, you're gonna interact with it, and it's gonna play immediately. Right, it's gonna play. Okay, so, and right now it's play, so it's fine. Okay, so now that we have the Clave, what we can do is we're gonna add another button. Play 3-2 Clave. Let's do 2-3. Okay, and here is where we're gonna do some magic, right? We're gonna try to code the 2-3 Clave. Again, we're gonna load the audio file, but we're not gonna play it immediately. We're gonna only play it when the timing works. So how it works is if you go to this website, right? It's 180 beats per minute. So we're actually gonna set that for now. So let BPM equals 180. And we're gonna have to figure out how we can split up the clave. So if you just play the clave, the 2-3 clave, it should happen on the 2-3, 5, and 8. So clave configurations, right? So I'm going to do const because I'm not going to change it. Same with audio. I don't think we need to do var. I think we can just do const. Clave config is equal to, so in a 8-beat count where you have 1, 2, 3, 5, 6, 7, 8, the clave happens on the second and third upbeats, and then the fifth upbeat, or second and third downbeats, the fifth downbeat, and then the 6.5, which is between the 6 and the 7, that's the upbeat, and then 8. So once we get this working, you'll see what it sounds like. I'm actually just gonna play this. I'm gonna play this. Let's see. Okay. 2, 3, 5, and 8. 2, 3, 5, and 8. So we're gonna have to figure out how we can do this within seconds, because that's what JavaScript allows us to do. Is it allows us to play something in an interval, but also play something with the delay. And so we're gonna figure out, based on the beats per minute and based on when the claves should be in an 8 count, basically exactly which millisecond we should be playing. So const, we're going to say that if the beats per minute is 180, we need to figure out how many seconds per 8 beats. Okay, and that's going to be 180 divided by 60. So now that gets you beats per minute. Sorry, 180 beats per minute. I'm actually just going to sketch it out. 180 beats per minute, right? Beats per minute. I'm going to multiply that by, so I'm going to put some quotes here. This is high school, maybe elementary school math. I'm going to do 1 minute is equal to 60 seconds, right? Okay. And then I'm going to do, so now this will get you beats per second. Okay. And then I want to do, I want to divide it by 1 8 count per second. Is 8 beats. Okay. So if we do that, so basically we got 180, so we got BPM divided by, let's just make this floating point integer. Do I do floating points? I don't know if I want to do floating points. Let's just do this for now. BPM divide by 60, right? And then I'm going to divide by 8 again. Okay? So 1 divided, yeah, that's basically what we're going to do. That's the beats per 8 seconds. So if I console.log this, right? And I just click play, for example, it's 0.375 seconds, which doesn't make any sense. I think, here, let's see. Beats per minute, minutes per second. So this will get you beats per second. Okay. So this will get you 3 beats per second. How many seconds? Okay. So this will get you what? That gets you 3 beats per second. Sorry, I'm just going to do that. And we know that there's 1 8 count per 8 beats. So that means how many seconds are in an 8 beat count? Well, you can do 8 divided by 3, right? So you do 8 beats we'll call it a bar. No, I'll call it 1/8 count. Okay. And then we're going to multiply that by, actually no, we're going to divide that by, so we're going to do 1 second is 3 beats, right? And that'll get you the answer. So I think we should do 8 times BPM divided by 60. So that should get you the 24, which doesn't work either. 8 beats. Ah, okay, BPM divided by 60. Yeah. So 183, 8 times 3. Okay, so now you should do 1 divided by that. Okay, there we go. So 8 divided by 3. So now it's 2.6. So that's how many seconds per 8 beats. Okay, so now we're going to have to go through this loop here, Clave config. And we're going to basically figure out like the first config, right? The first Clave is at the 2 out of 8. So if we do something like, basically we're going to do 2 out of 8 multiplied by this is the exact milliseconds or the exact seconds. So let's actually do milliseconds. So we're going to multiply by 1,000. And we should actually do 8,000. We're just going to do that instead. 8,000 times 60 divided by BPM. Maybe that's the actual math that ends up being. So let's try it out. So let's console log this, see if it makes sense. Right, 2,666 milliseconds. And maybe we can just convert it to a nice little integer. That's fine. Let's just see if this works. So what we're going to do is we're going to do clave config.map. Okay, so we got I don't know, beat in 8 count is the variable. It's always nice to name variables, right? And for each beat, so if you get a 2, you would do 2 times 8, so 2 divided by 8 divided by, multiply by that. So you do setTimeout, okay? And in this timeout, we're going to do this. We're going to play Clave, okay? So it's going to be audio.play. And then you have this divided by the beat in 8 count divided by 8. Okay. So let's see. Right, so now let's play it again. There we go. So now we have a little clave playing. So let's just get rid of this first clave because we don't really need it. And let's just see if we can play this on repeat now. Now let's see if we can just play this on repeat. So setInterval, you're gonna actually go through each clave, you're gonna set timeout, right? You're gonna play this. And you're gonna call this you're basically gonna repeat the 8 count over and over again. So yeah, let's try this out. There we go. We've just built a 2-3 clave. Okay, So let's rewrite the exact same function, but for the 3-2 clave. Clave 3-2. And then we should also stop too. And if we just stop, I think it's just going to be, let's see. I wonder if we can make this a global variable and just refer to it throughout, because there's really just one file that we need to load the whole time. Yeah, let's try it out. We should just say audio.stop. Okay. And then, yeah, so we're going to have a couple buttons here. We're going to have just a stop button, and we're also going to have a play 3-2 clave. Update the copy bit. Stop. Okay, and then for the 3-2 clave, instead of 2, 3, 5, and 8, it's 1 and 4, 6, 7. So 1 and, which is the upbeat that's between the two downbeats of the 2 and the 3, 4, and then so 1 and 4, 6, 7. Yep, so that's that. And then we have the exact same function for the rest. Again, a lot of this code is repeated. It's fine. We'll figure it out in a little bit. But yeah, we're just going to try it out. So 2, 3. Stop. Okay, audio.stop is not a function. Okay, so let's take a look at this. Stop. Audio.stop is not a function. Okay. Pause. And then maybe audio.currentTime equals, oops. Okay. Let's try to play it here. Current time is not defined. Interesting. Let's take a look at this little definition here. Okay, this is where you could play. Yeah, I clicked play twice, so it got really weird. Well, let me just see what is available with JavaScript, and if I can't find the docs. Audio, it's an element. Stop, pause, audio.play. Okay, so audio.pause should be okay. Interesting. So what's happening right now is I think what we can do is we can do nil, and then we're going to say we're just going to set the audio every time. So if only when you click it do you set the audio. Otherwise, it's not going to. If audio, otherwise it's just going to keep repeating the same thing is my guess. Let's just see what happens. No. Okay, so you're gonna start playing the clave. Interesting. Yep. Ooh, interesting. Audio is null. Audio is nil. Audio is nil right now, which is kind of weird because I clicked up on should set the audio. So let's figure it out. We're gonna have to figure out how to stop the audio, and that's gonna be in the next lesson because this it's getting a little late. So I'll just continue next time. So yeah, talk to you all later. If you have any questions, please leave a comment.